have no responsibility? I thought our concern was about an imperial president. Well, this is one of the constitutional checks to ensure that we don't have an imperial president. Yet 4 senators voted for Hagel. Thad Cochran of Mississippi, I didn't even know he was still around. Mike Johans of Nebraska. Richard Shelby of Alabama. What a disgrace this vote was, Senator Shelby. And Rand Paul of Kentucky. Every single Democrat who voted, 2 didn't vote, voted for Hagel and these 4 Republicans and Rand Paul, and we contacted his office and said, we don't get it. You voted against having the vote, and then when the vote came, you voted for Hagel. They sent us this statement. Rand Paul, I voted no because I wanted more information, and I think that part of what the Senate does is try to get information about the nominees. Paul told reporters in the basement of the Capitol after Hagel's confirmation Tuesday, I've said all along that I give the president some prerogative in choosing his political appointees. There are many things I disagree with Chuck Hagel on. There are many things I disagree with John Kerry on. There are very few things I agree with the president on. But the president gets to choose political appointees, Paul said. That's not exactly right. I just read the Constitution. I thought libertarians believed in the Constitution. Does the Constitution say the president gets to choose political appointees? Is there no appointments clause in the Constitution? I don't get it. But I want you to listen to one other thing. I'm just showing you how it works inside the Beltway. The Washington Compost, and that's what it is. I want you to listen to this story and then tell me what's missing, okay? This is by somebody named Paul Kane. Hagel wins confirmation to lead Pentagon. The story's an hour old or so. Chuck Hagel won confirmation Tuesday to become Defense Secretary over objections to his views on Middle East security and the administration's handling of an attack on a U.S. consulate in Libya. Now, isn't that interesting? Was it just that? Was it just that? On a 58-41 vote, the Senate confirmed the former Republican senator as 4 Republicans joined 54 Democrats in approving Hagel, ending a nearly 2-month battle that included an unprecedented filibuster against the nominee. Now listen to these first 2 paragraphs. So people were objecting to Hagel because of his views on Middle East security and the administration's handling of the consulate in Libya. Not that he turned out to be an incoherent, incompetent boob when he was testifying. Not because of all of his anti-Semitic comments. Not because of his pro-Iranian and Palestinian comments. And an unprecedented filibuster against the nominee? Really? An unprecedented filibuster what? Against a nominee for Secretary of Defense? They killed John Tower in the Armed Services Committee. He never came up for a vote. So there was no unprecedented filibuster. The Democrats just killed him. Well, there's reasons for that. But that's what they did. So it's just a distortion of what's taken place. The vote marked a foreign policy victory for President Obama, and that's where I'm going to stop. I'm not going to read anymore. This is how the media view the world. It's a victory for Obama. Screw the Defense Department, screw the military personnel, screw our national security, screw our allies, screw what this means for the country. It's a victory for Barack Obama, ladies and gentlemen. And for Paul Kane, pretend reporter at the Washington Compost, that's all that matters. Obama won, everybody else lost. Chalk up another one. There's our hero, imperial president. Pathetic. Disgusting. There's our hero president. Just as they stood by and they watched as Hugo Black was nominated and confirmed by the Democrat Senate and on to the Supreme Court he went. It didn't matter what the hell his background was because Franklin Roosevelt nominated him. And Franklin Roosevelt was king. It never mattered one whit to the media who Hagel was or what his background was or what he ever said, because Barack Obama's king and nothing else matters. Nothing. And they even dared to go after Ted Cruz, who was one of the most effective people to challenge him and Inhofe of Oklahoma. They went after Cruz and tried to paint him as Joe McCarthy. Folks, these are very, very dark times for this country. These are very, very dark times for this country. We have an enormously powerful federal government that's getting more and more powerful by the day, and your liberties are diminishing each and every day. Whether it's guns, whether it's ammunition, whether it's the school lunch program, whether it's the environment used to shut down businesses and drive up electricity costs and food costs. The circle of liberty, as I like to call it, is getting tighter and smaller and smaller and tighter. And we're preached to about illegal aliens and same-sex marriage. The individual in this country, I don't care what their sexual preference is. I don't care if they're legal or illegal. The fact of the matter is we are losing our liberty in this country, gradually but steadily. And the people who pretend otherwise are ignorant. Absolutely ignorant. It has happened to other societies over time. But it's happening right now. 3 years ago, you could choose pretty much whatever health care policy you want. You cannot do it today. 3 years ago, our coal miners weren't being targeted by the federal government. Today, they're blowing out jobs left and right in our coal mines. And I could go on and on and on across the spectrum. These are dark times for this nation. And the Republicans do not have the will to fight this. They do not have the will to fight this. They could have filibustered and killed this nomination, but they chose not to. Instead, they'll tell you, he voted against, she voted against Hagel. But they created the scenario, they accepted the scenario in which they knew damn well Hagel would be confirmed. And it's not the U.S. Senate, it's not the senators who are going to have to deal with this now. It's your fathers and your brothers and your sons, it's your mothers and your sisters and your daughters who volunteer to make a career out of defending this nation. We just sent them the biggest louse to manage their department. And I hear senators talking about deference to the President of the United States. Deference to the President. What is it going to take to wake these fools up? Does the President show the U.S. Senate deference when he declares them in recess and makes 4 unconstitutional appointments? Does the President show the courts deference when he's blown off the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, which said those appointments are unconstitutional, but the people he appointed refused to leave? Is that deference? Is it deference when he ignores one federal court order after another? Deference. When you have a chance to stand up and stop this man, by God, stand up and stop him. The Constitution gives you the power to do it. If you don't stop this man and his policies, if you don't stop the destruction he's doing to this nation, his hollowing out the United States military, his destroying our capitalist system, if you damn Republicans in Congress aren't going to do it, then who the hell is going to do it? You want to be a senator? Then act like a senator. You want to be a congressman? Then act like a damn congressman. Otherwise, get the hell out of the way. These are not the times for timid souls. This isn't the time for cowards. And yet we're surrounded by them. Oh, Mr. Tough Guy, Chris Christie, 74% popularity in New Jersey. He just buckled. He supports Obamacare now. The man who refused to sign on to the brief with 26 other governors and attorneys general to fight Obamacare, gave every cowardly excuse that he could. He always wanted that Medicaid money. He always wanted that money to help balance his budget. And he's going to get it for 3 years. And then you citizens in New Jersey, you're going to be punished for this. Because while he's trying to become president of the United States, over my dead body, by the way, while he's trying to become president of the United States, your taxes are going through the damn roof. Because the federal government's giving money now, and then it's taking it away later. He's not alone. These Republican governors are buckling one after another. One after another. Meanwhile, the problem is we, the people. The problem is conservatism. The problem is the Tea Party. The problem is the constitutionalists out there. Just listen to Rove, you know. We're the problem. The people who pay for this crap, the people who this country was built to support and who built this country, we're the problem. Not the illegal aliens, not the radical president, not these left-wing policies. No, we the people, we're the problem. If we just shut the hell up and get out of the way, everything would be perfectly fine. And when you don't, you're a radical. You're an extremist. Not the people who are destroying the country. No, we are. Who don't do anything to bother anybody except work, take care of our families, pay our bills, and pay our taxes. We're the radicals. You know, we got to give in to these. So we need comprehensive immigration reform. People from other countries come into our country. We don't invite them in. They violate our laws. And if we don't capitulate to this and accept it, there's something wrong with us. If we reject our faith and our religious teachings when it comes to a whole host of issues, there's something wrong with us. And when we say that's enough, leave us alone, we're told that's not a political agenda. We have to stand, you know, for bigger government. We got to give up our faith. We got to give up these things. This is the advice we get from Republicans. All right.